Night Train, episode 2. What are y'all doing? What are you doing over there? You. No, not you, not you. You, yes, you. What are you doing? Hey, gang. Anthony Wayne here from the confines of the studio. We love it. We love them strings. We're just gonna hear it again. It's pretty stuff. But we can't let you hear everything. Nope. More about that later. That's the beginning to a song, which we'll come to that real fast. I just wanted to say that I should have done this maybe a week ago, but you get busy, work, writing tunes and playing shows. And so, and also I've been mixing this tune. I'm getting ready to release a new song, and it's leaving the nest tomorrow morning. It'll be gone for a little bit. It's going to do some traveling. It'll be back, and then it'll be in your hands and your earbuds. And maybe on your vinyl player. Who knows? I don't know. But I did want to, so first of all, Record Store Day. That's a day that I always try to take part in. Everybody's got, you have your take on Record Store Day. I don't know. I'm not on one side or the other about it. I just love the fact that it's a day to me that is specifically about going and supporting, local record stores. And so I always try to do that, spend a little money here and there just to try and, hopefully you get something cool. I got a couple cool things, but, you want everybody to, I hope everybody loves Record Store Day. And I could talk all kinds of time about record stores and what they really mean. To me, I remember, being very young, and this is before I was really any good at instruments, and the verdict is still out on whether I'm any good at those. But I would ride the bicycle down to a record store that was near town. And as I got older, and I would always, in every city that we ever played on tour, I would always stop in whatever, I would always kind of look ahead. Like most of my nights were planning on, especially now that I'm very sober. I'll be 18 years sober this year, but now as I tour, it's like the night before. I'm like, okay, how far are we from this one? And is it falling in line with me on my way to the venue, kind of thing? And you stop in, you see. Those are the people, that you talk to. Those are the ones that are kind of have their ear to the street, ear to the scene. You talk to them about the cool places. They know things. Maybe they know a little too much, and maybe they don't know enough, but they definitely know things. And so it's always a good conversation. I always enjoy. Some of my favorite people have always been record store folks. And so hats off to you guys and girls for really making it work, and probably not making a whole lot of money at doing it, but huge respect, and I love you guys. I really do. And so I spent my Record Store Day this year with Shane and Melinda at Ceremonial Sound. I did a little, I don't even know, maybe a 6 or 8 song set, and everybody was so cool and so nice. And they were so much fun to be around, and I made jokes, and everybody laughed, and we all laughed at each other, and we talked, and it was kind of a, it's kind of a quaint thing because, you're by yourself, guitar guy, voice, and it's a little bit hollow in a room. It's not like a venue sort of setting. You could get the idea. It's just like a record store, and people are they're more focused on like what they're trying to get. So, but I did see a guy get Crooked Rain. And everybody loves Pavement, and everybody probably knows that I love Pavement. But so I just slipped right in to Cut Your Hair, and he recognized, and we all sang together, and that was fun. And that doesn't happen very often. You don't really get to roll up in a venue and play a cover tune that you love and everybody know what it is. So that's the love-hate of cover songs sometimes, but I could probably do a whole podcast on that. And we're working on getting these podcasts. Speaking of podcasts, I didn't know what to call it, Earth by Train. Now I know it's going to be a podcast. We're working on getting it figured out, to get it to the street, get it to the world beat. So Record Store Day. So Ceremonial Sound, that's in Bristol, Virginia, if you guys ever get a chance to go there. And there's a couple more in this area, Backdoor Records in Johnson City, as well as that's one that I go to. And I was with Kelly and them a couple years back, maybe 2 years ago, and did an in-store. And that's always fun. And then there's like Cheap Thrills in Bristol as well. And then there's G2K in Norton, Virginia, and they have all kinds of cool stuff. They got a great selection. There's just a lot of cool record stores, and they're popping up, and hopefully they survive, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but if you can, maybe they don't always carry what you want, but you can just have a conversation that says, hey man, I'm looking for Crooked Rain, the deluxe box set vinyl, because it's fantastic, and can you guys get it? And they're going to say, yes, we can get that. Anthony bought our last one. Drinking a little coffee here. But so we did the record store day. That was a lot of fun, and I'm super excited. I'm very honored that they would ask me. But I took a bunch of pictures, and we haven't posted those yet. But we're gonna get those up. I'm gonna get those up. I kind of been. Here's the segue. Segue to the song Mirror. Now, Mirror is a tune I've been working on for a long time. Probably. I've been working on the recorded version of it for about 8 years. I started Earth by Train, and I really wanted to record, so we recorded in different places, and then band members fall away, and you get new band members. You have to readjust the recording. You don't want to. I don't really want to. That's a conversation we can have where if you're, I wanted a band to support the album, but sometimes the band members don't get to stay. They have other things that they do, and there are other things that they're into, and they kind of clash with like the direction. And not everybody's direction goes the same way, and that's not the right way, but the same way. So that can be tough. It can be tough on a band, man. It's tough. Lots of arguing and, addiction and things like that. And I'm probably not extremely easy to be around when when I'm business-minded, because I'm trying to, if you're not going to be serious about this, then I don't know. I don't know the answer. I think it's important to be serious about it and be, focused on it, but that doesn't always happen. I started recording it, and it didn't work out, so I deleted a bunch of things and then kept basic tracks, and really loved the basic tracks because the vocals were done with a really great gear and equipment, and so I ended up bringing everything back to my studio. We recorded the beginning parts of this record I'm working on in West Virginia, and then we brought it back here. And then I started, it's just like, I don't really want to record anymore. I don't really want to do this anymore. So I said, I'm going to hang on to it. Just going to, press stop. And let's just go play shows. And so then I built another band and had a great time. I built like probably 4 bands at that time. And, and I was touring a lot. I'm doing like, anywhere from like 75 to 125 shows a year, and that's a lot. And it doesn't really work out for everybody, and it's just I don't have to tell anybody that plays music how kind of tough it is out there, but it's not always tough. But you know why it's tough and when it's tough, and so bands fall apart, people come and go, that kind of thing. And then I just this most recent round, there's a lot of a big a mass exodus of everybody leaving and parting ways, and the words and kicking dirt and things like that. So I just kind of, I was like, man, I don't want to do any of this anymore. So I'm just going to watch a bunch of movies. And during all that, there was some significant death in my immediate family. And that's, that's a tough thing too. And that's a whole nother thing that existed at the same time. All of this has been happening within the last 8 years. Obviously, then there's, the world shut down for a couple of years. It was a little different for a couple of years. So I think the one thing that I did is I continued to write. I'm always going to write, just like any writer would. I wrote some cool book ideas. I wrote some cool video type ideas. I had 2 contracts with booking agencies lapse out, and I just didn't want to do it anymore, and I didn't want to talk to anybody, and just kind of wanted to play shows. Obviously, my connection is, during that hour and a half, whatever, to 3 hours show, that you just connect for a minute. And, every now and then you see people singing, or you feel like you see somebody's head bobbing, and they're just like, all right, that's cool. And you get in the feeling, the vibe from them. And that's good. That was good enough for me for that time. And so, the recording studio is... it's where I live, and so that it's on one end of where I live, and it's easy to shut that side of the world off, that side of the building off, and kind of just live on the other side, because everything else I need is over there. The movies, the notebooks, the guitars, things like that. But in here, the recording took so long. And it was so arduous. It was so tough, start, stop. I had cool people come in, and then, over time, you just go, I don't think that sounds that good anymore. I don't like what happened there. It was just a love-hate, really, with the music and what you wanted to do and where I saw it going. And so, you just basically shut the door. And I shut the door to that side of the world for a while. And then, probably had a little bit of I would just call it several weeks of napping. And that's probably the depression kind of sitting in, trying to get it figured out, what you want to do, where is it going. And then it just kind of slowly, I would open the door and come in a little bit and listen to some old tunes. And luckily, I think I'm very grateful for all of these tunes, but Mirror, this song Mirror that's coming out, is I'm very grateful for that tune, because I think that tune really saved me slightly in this period in time. Music has always saved me, don't get me wrong. And everybody that loves music can agree to that music does save us in lots of ways. It can hurt us too. It does all kinds of things. It's an emotional thing. But the music was really saving me, and I didn't really give it the credit that it deserved. And Mirror, I would always come in, and it was always like this tune that was almost finished, and I could listen to it, and I would go, you know what? That's cool. That's got legs, or this could exist, outside of this room, and people could get it and have fun with it, and hopefully be inspired by it. And then the more I listened to it, the better it sounded. And then slowly I found myself coming in a lot more, and the door stayed open. And then I realized I was kind of back, and I was just like, you know what? I don't really want to do, I want to tour, but I just want to do solo stuff for a little while and get my sea legs about me, my stage legs about me. And so here we are, and I've worked really hard for the last couple of weeks on Mirror, and found mastering in Nashville that I really like, and I really created a relationship with this company. And I was like, you know what? Here we go. This is it. It's about to leave the nest. And then I had somebody whose ears I truly trust. I had a friend of mine, Brandon Maggard, and he has he's just a pretty important piece of a lot of people's puzzles here and where we live. and I'm in a band with him called Das Novas, and him and I both play drums, and that's a lot of fun because we're both guitar players. So that's fun to not be guitar players and look at each other and be drummers. That's kind of fun for me. And I trust his ears, and I trust his family's ears. He comes from a line of people who have great ears, and they know what sounds good and what can sound good, and they know potential and things like that. And that's important. So I said, man, can you come over and let's just check this out? And he listened, and he was very kind and very honest about it. And I think already feeling good, kind of making my way back to this side of the house and recording more and kind of coming out of the fog and realizing that there was merit in what I was doing, and it wasn't anything bad. Like the last 8 years, it kind of dictated. It really was something that could be saved. And so I was like, all right. And then he says, yeah, send it. And I was like, all right. So anyhow, we're sending it. So Mirror is leaving the nest tomorrow morning, tonight probably. And then it'll be back. It won't take long, a couple days. You know how that works. And then we'll figure out how to adjust it from there. It's going to go to all the streaming things. And then I've got a lot of connections and a lot of conversations going with people that want to, that hopefully would want to see this song and future songs get, gain more exposure and get around the world a little bit, or the Southeast, anyhow. But so Record Store Day, loved it. Ceremonial Sound, go check them out. Mirror is coming very soon. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I want to finish it. I want everybody to hear it, but I don't know what's the best way to do that and people hear it. But so this is Earth by Train podcast 2, and I'm having fun doing this. I will say thank you, because I've had a lot of people reach out and say, great job, and they're interested and they want to possibly do things in the future and beyond, and, be interviewed and that kind of thing. And that's fun. I don't know. We will see what that looks like. And maybe maybe somehow I want you guys to hear it, but you hear the strings at the beginning, and that's fun. But we got tons of shows coming up, and you can find everything there is to know that you need to know at avivibe.com. Just a soft open here is the AVIBE Festival. AVIBE 3 is happening, and I'm going to tell you more about that very soon. Still have a lot of conversations going with that, and how what that looks like, and who's playing that, and who. So and then I've also been working on getting a full band together again, and we're playing some shows in the fall, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't know that the record will be out by then, but I think another tune will be out at least by then. I have like 12 songs. So here's the deal. Just so you know, I've got like 12 songs that are ready for a record, and then I'm going to release maybe 2 or 3 more and then put a record out. And then right after that, during that eight year period I was telling you about, where I was shut off and kind of just played shows and just ran through the motions, I wrote a bunch of tunes. So I've been kind of workshopping 35 songs, and how that's going to be, I don't know how I want to release those, but those are going to come everything's going to come a lot quicker, because I've found that I was spending a lot of time trying to get a band to really work and survive, and I didn't really I didn't need that. It didn't need to be that way. I was trying so hard I wanted a band. You just want a band and get a backing band and have people to play with, and it's for whatever reason it's challenging. Now I am a piece of that challenging puzzle, so I will not take the blame away from me. I don't know what that is. I don't know. It's just not easy always communicating and having a band. Make it out there. But a lot of it is hard work, and a lot of it is being focused. A lot of it is, maintaining some level of sobriety, and also it's like time and place. Like, I don't know that a lot of the bands that I love and that are, those guys were kind of near each other in the neighborhood, like I know like a lot of our favorites are just like, we grew up together. This is how we lived. And this is, so I don't really have that. And so it's like, I'm trying to find a band to play tunes, and it's easier than, I'm not trying to say I don't have, people that want to play. It's easier than I might make it out to be, but it is tough. Anybody that's in a band will tell you the same. It's not easy, especially, trying to survive. Everybody's got this side hustle to make money, because being in a band isn't always the way that puts gas in the tank, But so I've got new merch coming out and new tunes, and I'm going to be doing a big rollout for the AVIBE Festival and what that's going to look like. But I'll save that. I think I'm just going to do one podcast, maybe. Oh, podcast 3. It's AVIBE 3, so why not podcast 3? There we go. So that's how you do it. It's in real time. We're working this together. Thank you all. Podcast 3 will be about the AVIBE Festival, and I'll talk about who all's playing. So that'll come at some point. Let's see what else. What else? If you think of something, if you dig this, let me know. Comment wherever you see you can, and share and talk about it. And I enjoy doing it. I'm having fun. And I'm excited about the future of rock and roll. There's a lot of amazing music and songwriters and musicians out currently that are huge and that are indie and unknowns. And I'm constantly digging. Like, I'm constantly finding people that I love and I hear and I go, oh, these guys are dope. So, go find music wherever you find music. Just keep finding it. It's fun. It's it keeps everything floating. Keeps our brains active. Keeps us all going. Music's good. Share it. Tell people about it. But I don't know. I think that's it. I think this is Anthony Wayne, and this is how podcast 2 is going to end. So take care of yourself out there. AWVibe.com is the website. Check out for all the shows. Come say hi. Okay. Let's go. We got to mix. I still got to mix a little bit more. Make sure there's a couple of things. There's a part in Mirror. I'm going through the vocals, and there's a part in Mirror that has like a breathy sort of, that kind of thing. What's your take on that? Is that effective in music? Is it, what would you call it? Is it silly? Is it hokey? What's the word? Let me know what you think. This is way too long of a podcast. I've probably lost every single person already. But let's go mix Mirror, and this is how Mirror starts.